My name is Greg Hemmings. I'm an entrepreneur and a filmmaker who lives, works, and plays in New Brunswick. Admittedly, I've been concerned about the future of our region. Our economy, environment, and social welfare are three parts of a puzzle that appear to be at risk. It also seems that whenever there's a possible solution to one of these challenged puzzle pieces, it jeopardizes one or both of the others. Take energy resource development, for example. The economic benefit that would result in the development of the oil and gas industry could be incredible. But the conversation leads to the question, how will the environmental integrity and social health of our region fare if we grab the rope with this opportunity? And on the flip side, if we put a stop to the idea of developing our energy resources in the noble name of protecting our environment, will we have any hope, economically speaking, to even be able to build a life and sustainable community in this region? It also appears that the social welfare part of this puzzle is directly connected to the economic and environmental pieces. Can this puzzle actually fit together? Recently, New Brunswick's former Premier and thought leader Frank McKenna presented a keynote speech in favor of developing an oil and gas industry in the region, one that respects environmental integrity and social well-being. I did not get to see Mr. McKenna's address, but I did have a chance to talk to him about it at his offices at the TD Bank in Toronto.
I gave this speech in New Brunswick because I care deeply about the province, and I'm very concerned that we're running into a perfect storm of negative things at the present time, and that we need to think about some of the positives, some of the good things that could happen.
I asked him what some of the positives were in his perspective, and what are some of the opportunities.
We have potash, we have natural gas, we've got an extraordinarily advantaged terminal on the Atlantic Ocean. What is the potential if we were to have a large supply of raw material like crude oil coming into our province? What could that mean? What are the opportunities? Similarly with natural gas in our province, what is the opportunity? What is the opportunity as a producer of potash in a world that badly needs agricultural products? We have very entrepreneurial people. This is a province that has produced some of the giants of Canadian industry. We have good educational institutions, and we have a knowledge sector that is much more likely to happen in a larger jurisdiction. In other words, we punch beyond our weight. We have a natural access to the Atlantic Ocean, which is an extraordinary asset to the country in order to make sure that we have a more competitive price for our crude that's produced out west. And we have shale gas. We don't really know how much, but we know that it's capable of being a fuel source with half the carbon footprint of oil. We also have the only LNG terminal in all of Canada. We have the most advantaged port in all of Canada. So at a time when gas prices in North America are so low, we have access to Asian markets by reversing the flow of natural gas. I would say in the case of shale gas, similarly, we're just really getting access to technologies in the last number of years that allow gas to be extracted from shale in deep reservoirs, which is what we have in New Brunswick. We've had an exploitation of the gas reserves off Nova Scotia, which has resulted in pipelines being built through New Brunswick all the way to New England. Having access to that pipeline is a big part of the infrastructure that you need in order to make commercial the exploitation of shale gas.
There seems to be a strong case for the economic potential of the energy resource development puzzle piece. Figures and projections are certainly not a guarantee, but it is interesting to note how impressive the spin-offs could be if we develop this sector in a responsible and ecologically respectful way.
Figures always get drawn out of the air, and you don't know until things are really going what could happen. But just to build a pipeline, we know creates a lot of jobs, and the number that's been estimated is about 2,700 jobs. If we were ever to be able to take advantage of the oil coming into St. John and create an upgrader, well, that would create 5,000 jobs for a number of years. If we were to exploit our shale gas, if we have the gas in abundance, as some analysts believe that we do, that could create as many as 150,000 person years of work. That could be 10 or 15,000 jobs a year for a period of time. That's huge. But then on top of that, you get the kickback to the provincial coffers, which are badly needed. We're running huge deficits. And if you could get $7 billion out in taxes and royalties, then that's huge. And then if you could get cheap gas together with potash and create value-added industries there, you'd have even more jobs. And that's how people should look at it. They should look at it as creating an environment in which we're better able to pay for teachers and nurses, healthcare, rural roads, environmental protections. It means that instead of constantly cutting and constantly taking things away from people that we can start reinvesting. We have to grab the rope, and we have to take advantage of those things that are available to us.
McKenna's message suggests that if we develop the energy resource sector in an environmentally responsible way, then our economic and social health will be improved exponentially. Frank believes that the three puzzle pieces do fit together. There are, however, other perspectives about this topic, and the only way that we as a province will find common ground is if we share information and points of views in a well-mannered, respectful way. Please take the time and share your thoughts, concerns, hopes, and ideas in the comments field below.